Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to use the Budget by Paycheck Workbook by the Budget Mom to track what happened in the first week of April, and it was a busy one. So I have all the numbers keyed in, so let's grab our glasses and get right to it. All right, let's just go straight to April. Did have a number of birthdays this month, so my expenses are a little bit more, but I did have a little bit of money in the sinking funds to um, kind of supplement the extra expenses for that. So things are actually looking pretty good. Uh, so we're looking at this week. And I wanted to note that I switched rec centers. I originally started going to the one that is real close by. I've been to it before. I've had a membership there before, but I've never really used the pool as my main means of exercise. And I'm finding that the pool lanes are not available, and there's only two and they're very short lanes. So I scoped out some of the other places close by, and there's a YMCA that has 8 lanes, and it's an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So it's perfect for what I want to do. And they also have weightlifting, free weights, and I don't know what you call the ones with the pins, but they have plenty of opportunity for me to work out there. It is a little bit more per month, but I think it's worth it to know that when I go there, I can get a lane. They have the ability to, you can actually reserve a lane there. So that's pretty nice too. So I'm changing that, and I did have to pay part month here. But the other good thing is they're pulling the money on the 28th, which is actually better because if you've been to my videos, you know that my bills are kind of loaded in the first part of the month. So shifting that 50 some dollars to the end of the month or the second paycheck is actually perfect. All right, so as you can see, some of the bills have come out, and some of them I'm still waiting for them to clear before the paycheck ends. It's going to be tight though. I'm going to have very little money left over at the end of this pay period, which is fine. Again, I knew it was coming, so it's not that big of a deal. Here is what has happened so far. I have had the refund for Canva. As a reminder, I was investigating using Canva, but I opted not to. But I didn't realize I had agreed to pay for a yearly subscription. And when it hit, I didn't know that it was hitting. It pulled and the money was out of my account. So I contacted Canva, and they graciously refunded that amount, and it has cleared in the bank. So that has come through. I forwarded a little bit of money, and I've actually pulled out additional funds for both the optometrist visit, which was thankfully much less than I thought it was going to be. They said, if you're looking to be budget, we can get you some budget pair and they'll still be fine. They'll still last as long as you need them to last. But they'll cost significantly less if you don't go through insurance and you don't get all those special coatings and whatever. Yeah, so she got me covered. I'm sure they'll be fine. Worst case scenario is I use them for a year, and then when I re-up my prescription, I actually purchase the expanded vision and go ahead and get another pair in a year. So I'm very pleased with that. I'll go over how much that cost in a few minutes. Most of the bills for my fixed expenses have already come out. I'm still expecting almost $300 to come out, but I will have $300, but just barely. My food expenses, I have already pretty much shot through. In the first week of April, I've shot through my $200 budget. It's, again, it's just a lot of stuff going on and a lot of extra expenses. And I was considering putting some of that food expenses into holiday because it was extra food expenses, and that was kind of what holiday is meant to be, is anything extra, be it balloons for someone's birthday or um, a new wreath for Thanksgiving or things like that. But in the end, I said, okay, I think it'll be okay. It'll sort of even out, even though I'll probably go over budget for food again this month. It's going to be okay. And $400 a month for the number of people in the household, regardless of whether they're contributing, is low. So it could be that I just need to adjust that budget. I don't know, and I'm gonna let this month kind of, or excuse me, this whole year kind of go out before I adjust some of these larger expenses like food and um, I don't know, maybe healthcare and personal care. I need to feel out how things are actually playing out throughout the year because it could be this is just an anomaly because of all the things that are going on. Healthcare again, I'll show you what the bill was here in a moment. I was pleased. I was expecting to spend $500 on glasses. I didn't come anywhere near that. So that was awesome. I did have some other, gifting purchases and stuff. I transferred plenty of money over for the healthcare for my glasses. But what I ended up doing, because I spent so little on my glasses, I pulled $125 from that healthcare to put into gifting so I could cover the expenses for the two birthdays for my daughter and son at the beginning of this month. So, and I'm still actually at my goal for healthcare, and I'm just going to leave this here because what I'm going to do at the end of May, they have a super sale on sunglasses, and she says I can get a prescription pair of sunglasses for $80. And she said, looking at your budget, if you want the transitions for your distance, we can do that, but it's going to cost $30 more to do that with this pair than it would be for you to just get a whole new pair that are strictly sunglasses and not transitions. So that's what I'm going to do in May. I'm just going to pull 80 or however much it ends up. It'll probably be a little bit more with the taxes and whatnot. I'll pull out $80 from here, and I think that's going to be a good fit for me for what I use my glasses for. So I was pretty excited to have that going on. I have done a few charges with healthcare and personal care gifting, and as I've spent the money, I've gone ahead and put that into my on my cards just so I'm not increasing the balance. I did purchase a gift for myself. It had part of it came out of a remaining balance from a gift that someone gave me in Meta. And then part of it I paid for myself. So there was like $7 that I haven't done, but I expect I'll be charging more, so I'll wait until I have more than $7 before I transfer that over. My sinking funds are looking good. Next pay cycle, I'll be putting more towards the travel, and that will be finishing this 2025 travel. After that, I'll be putting money into a general travel fund so that I can have funds to spend while I'm on vacation. So I'll continue with travel, but it won't be specific to this 2025 sinking fund. This is the actual purchases that I've made, and as you can see, there is a lot of food in here, a lot of food. Part of it was there was a series of games. There were 3 games in a row, and every single day I was there, I bought something. So that was part of the problem, but it's not the whole picture, right? I mean, you can see I've got it's just every time I turn around, I'm going to the grocery store to get something. I'll look at this optometrist bill. It came to $173, and that's including my eye exam and my 2 pair of glasses. $173. I cannot believe that. I was super pleased with that. I probably could have purchased a more expensive pair of frames, but I've had more expensive frames, and trust me, they they don't hold up any better than the ones that are $40 or $50 less. So I was super pleased with that because in the past I've just bought because I like the way they look, not really paying attention to how much they cost. And this time I looked at the expensive ones, and then I went over and looked at the less expensive ones, and I said, this one's very similar, and it's legitimately $50 less, which it translates into $100 if you're buying two pairs. I feel pretty good about that. And given that I had so much extra left for the amount that I was saving, I went ahead because I know I've got a couple more birthday things going on. I transferred a little bit more money from that sinking fund into checking as a saving, or excuse me, as a birthday money to spend because it is getting very low. And I just didn't want to risk not being able to do the things that I want to do for my family just because things are a little tight this month. So, again, mostly Civic Center stuff, but there is some healthcare and pet care smattered in there. And of course, I started doing my Geico every month, and I think 62 seems a little high. I might see what I can do about checking out other rates because you know how it does. You get it, and when you first get it, it's like, really low, and you think, wow, that's so much less than I'm spending. And then as the years creep by, you're like, wow, why is this so expensive? And I think when you actively go out and look for new premiums, you get the better deals. So I need to go do that again. All right, and there's the refund. Yahoo! So that looks good. Here's the meta. Just it was a VR game that I picked up. Again, a lot of it was covered through a remaining gift balance that I had. Not even for my birthday, it was something else, and we had another entertainment expense on Amazon. But I think everything else looks great. This was the shameful the shameful um, jersey that I purchased. Shameful, yes, but yeah, I'll be happy to wear it during the next game. So I'm not gonna beat myself up too much about it. And here's some transfers to and from the sinking funds just to cover my glasses and healthcare, and then pay for some of the extra expenses that I had going on right now. I don't have my bill from my credit card yet. When I do, I will put it down in here. I'll probably have it for the next check-in, which will be next Saturday, April the 12th. I'll probably have those numbers to put in here because usually it comes in around the 10th or so. Yeah. And I don't have anything on this yet because it's not the end of the month, but I will show this is like my expenses. And look, it's like if I have a monthly budget of 200, I should sort of expect that I'm going to spend 200 roughly within the first paycheck and then 200 roughly within the second paycheck. But I'm like 5 days in and I've spent all $200 or pretty much 188. So I'll just have to kind of see what's going on. I mean, Rachel had a very specific request for her birthday, even though we had it Friday. She just had very specific items that she wanted. And I only make strawberry salad one time a year, and it's always on her birthday for her birthday treat because she doesn't really like cake. And it's an amazing dessert. You get pretzels and you crush them up and you add some butter and sugar, and then you bake that and you get this really nice, fine, salty, sweet base. And if you crush the pretzels up enough, it almost creates that powdery substance that helps bind it all together. And then the next layer is cream cheese. And then you get the Dream Whip that you prepare yourself. I suppose you could use Cool Whip, but I mean, I've always used the Dream Whip. That's what the recipe calls for. In addition to that, you add, of course, more sugar. And I have taken to almost having the sugar for the whole ingredient, and I can't tell the difference, to be fair. It doesn't affect the base of the dessert. It doesn't make it less solid. So if you're making it and you're just thinking more health conscious, you can't. Over time I've slowly decreased the amount of sugar that goes into the dessert because it's sweet on its own. And so that's the middle layer is the cream cheese, the Dream Whip, and a little bit of sugar. And then the top layer is just Jello and frozen strawberries. And it is the best dessert ever. Oh, it's so good. It's just so fresh. And it's like the hint of summer that you need when, April's rolling in and you're like, oh yeah, it's time to put the shorts on. So that's always a treat. I know that it's coming because I know that's what she'll always ask for. So that's always nice. And that pretty much is it. Again, it was a very busy start of the month, but I think things will slow down now that the birthdays are over and we don't have a lot more going on. Of course, Matt's birthday hasn't even arrived yet, um, but I've already purchased his gift. I am going to pick up some food for him. He doesn't have a specific menu, but he does want me to bring in some food. So um, I think I know what I'm going to get him, but we'll see. Um, so that's it. I don't think I have anything else to report. Even though the expenses are a little high, we knew it was going to happen because it's just, for me, this is a very expensive time. I'm actually even already starting to think about my grandson's birthday, which is the 6th of May. And I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is take both of the boys, because usually what I do is I'll buy one grandson whose birthday it is, something, and then the other grandson, I'll get them something small that they can, just so that they can have something and feel special on the other. I know that's terrible. But anyway, that's kind of what I do. And I think what I'm going to do is let them pick out a pair of nice, uh, like athletic shoes, because the little one whose birthday we'll be celebrating here, he gets all the hand-me-downs, but I want him to be able to pick out his own tennis shoes, in a size that's not half off or whatever, and just like some really good like athletic shoes. And same thing with Levi. Just get him some. He's 9, and I think he's actually starting to think about more about what he's wearing, and so just let him pick out the brand that he wants to get and not worry about how much it costs. So I think that's the plan with them, and so that's probably going to be a little bit more expensive also than normal because I'll probably spend a couple $100 on those shoes. Um, and that's pretty much it. I guess I'll check in on the 12th just to let you know, hopefully, that things have settled down and I haven't gone so far over budget that, I have $0 to left over at the end of the month. I don't think I'm going to have any money to put into the U.S. bank other than what I've already put in for my um, uh, charges that I've already made this month. We'll see. I mean, even if it's $100, it's $100, right? All right then. Well, I will talk to you then.